Hello everybody and welcome to the next video of 2 Cents where I give my opinions on things that nobody asked for. Before I get started into that today, I do want to give a shout out to the first person who I believe has liked and commented on my video. That would be Kevin Mist 95, who says, "I encourage you in your project, bro. Nice analysis on Tate." I just want to say thank you so much. It means a lot that you would, do that and then reach out. It's also very motivating and inspiring. Like I saw it and I got really giddy. I don't even know if you understand. It was a great feeling. And the only other thing I want to say on that is Andrew Tate is a giant loser, especially from what I've seen even more about him recently. But today's video is not about him. Today's video is actually about AI. Now, what do I mean about AI? Is this going to be the Matrix? Are the robots taking over? Is this going to be Terminator? Well, no, not yet, and hopefully not for a while. So let me preface this with the thing that made me want to make this and talk about this is I saw an ad for some sort of program, and I wish I would have taken a picture so I could have remembered exactly what it was, but it was a program or a company that sold AI usage for helping you create YouTube content, which doesn't sound bad at first, but I looked a little bit more into it, and it was almost entirely removing what I would consider the human element. Now, what do I mean by the human element? I mean like what I'm doing here. I thought of something and I'm running with it, right? And I feel like that's what a lot of YouTubers do. That's what brings a lot of us in is the human element. We see somebody we like, or we like the way somebody talks, or we like how the little quirks of humanity, and that's kind of what brings us in, and we and continue to like it, and we stay, we subscribe, we like, we do all the YouTube things, right? So I'm not used to having long hair. This is as long as I've grown it since I was in like ninth grade, and it's an experience. And I've never parted my hair like this. It's usually it used to be like a Justin Bieber look, and I was like, I'm tired of this. Um, anyway, but back to AI. The thing it was taking the human. I feel like the human connection out of content. It was a program that would tell you, hey, these are the videos that you should make. Here's some thumbnails. Here's, the title that you should post. It was taking everything out of making the content, and I mean streamlining, which it sounds good. It makes everything easy, but I don't think that's what people want. At least not in my opinion. Definitely not my opinion. And I just learned about this other part about a week ago, maybe not even, as I was doing my binging and playing video games of YouTube, or binging videos while playing video games. Um, there was a YouTuber named Kwebblekop, and I personally never watched Kwebblekop. Just I wasn't the audience that he was aimed towards, and that's perfectly fine. Now Kwebblekop was very successful, and I mean like he had millions of subscribers. He was doing great. I mean I even think there was like a few posts where he was kind of humble bragging, maybe full on bragging about his apartment or whatever. Like he was living in really good conditions, if I'm not mistaken. And if I am, I'll take it back, and I don't want to say things that somebody didn't do. However, Kwebblekop, I guess he got burnt out, which I can imagine. You do something long enough, you can start to feel the burnout. And I'm sure I've seen many videos of YouTubers who get burnt out, and it would be silly for me to say that it might never happen to me. I mean, I love to talk. I'm always talking to myself every day. That's why I make these videos. It'll still probably happen to me. Now, that being said, burnout is a fairly natural thing that happens to pretty much everyone. It doesn't matter their line of work, whether or not you're a mechanic, whether or not you're an engineer, doesn't really matter. You're going to face some sort of burnout at some time. Completely fine to take a break, step back, regain your footing, get your second wind, right? That's not what Kwebblekop did. Kwebblekop instead took it in a direction where he wanted AI to run everything. And that is where I started to have my own more negative opinions at Kwebblekop, because that's just not something I agree with. That's not part of the platform. Like, for example, I remember, and this is going to date me, I'm sure, my first video that I remember being drawn to, and this was because a friend wanted to show it to me, because this was like back in dial-up internet days. It was the YouTube video Shoes, and I don't know how badly that dates me, but I imagine it's pretty bad. It's I would say a fairly old video. Um, Shortly followed up by Tay Day's Chocolate Rain, which was a great song and amazing performance performed by Tay Day. And real quick, side tangent, I think that Tay Day is a perfect example of what people wanted to see, especially back, when this was all starting off, was the human element. Tay Day, if you don't know Chocolate Rain, he was, and this is going to be my very poor example, he'd go, Chocolate Rain. And he would lean way over here to make sure that you couldn't hear him, taking these deep breaths into the mic. It wasn't actually a problem, but I mean, he didn't know that. That was his little quirk. And that helped him, I feel like, blow up and get viral. And that was part of, we saw that, and, maybe we, kind of poke a little bit of fun at it. Like, that's silly, right? But that, like, ultimately, that's, I feel like one of the things that helped him really blow up, especially at the time. And for Kwebblekop to want to try and take that out really irks me. And I don't know if he's still doing this. I think he doubled down on it. I haven't seen what he's been doing lately. I don't know how old this news is. I just started this channel, so I don't get to. I would love to report on it back when it was giant and fresh, but I can't time travel. So I'm talking about it now. So Charlie or Moist Critical would call out Tay Day at some point. Tay Day? Why is he calling out Tay Day? What did Tay Day do to Charlie? I don't know. So Charlie at some point or Charlie or Moist Critical at some point would call out Blue or Kwebblekop and be like, hey, this AI thing, this is not the direction I think, YouTube wants. Or the maybe not YouTube, but like, the subscribers, the people watching, the viewers at home, that's not what we want, right? We don't want to watch AI content make it. And I mean, I think he even doubled down, and not just doubled down, like you would think if I said, Kwebblekop doubled down on this, he would have a response to Charlie saying, no, I believe this is where the future is headed. And to an extent, he kind of did, but not like you think. Instead of saying directly to Charlie, he got Blue, the AI VTuber, to respond to Charlie. And it doubled down for Kwebblekop. And then later at some point, I believe Kwebblekop has stated that this is his vision of the future for YouTube, making and doing a bunch of VTubers. Like you could hold 50 channels and they're all VTubers of AI, and it doesn't matter because it's AI. They will never get older. They will never, stop doing the work. They will never get burnt out like a robot, because I mean it's AI. It's what it does. And so not only that, so Kwebblekop's envision for the future of YouTube was that you could be somebody, and he was going to sell this off. He was going to monetize and profit from this, was selling this kind of AI to people who want to hold like 50, 100, 150, however many, channels, all ran by AI, who make the content, who do the editing, who do all this stuff, and then you just rake in the profits. And if that's not money hungry, if that's not doing it for the money, then I don't know if I could give you a better example of what is, because that to me is screaming, I'm doing this for the money. Now, since then, I haven't heard pretty much anything about the Kwebblekop situation. I think that was a few months ago. Again, I wish I was a time traveler. I wish I could have, talked about this and gave my 2 cents on this back when it came out. But unfortunately, I still can't time travel unless you see, something over there out of my box start to flicker, and then we know. No, okay. Well, we tried. So anyway, that's my 2 cents about the whole Kwebblekop and AI situation. I would love to have yours. If you want, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, comment, all the YouTube thingies. I would much rather actually just have a comment saying whether you agree, disagree. If there's anything that you want me to talk about, that you want to hear some 2 cents on, I would love to do that for you. But until then, I'll see you next time. It's just gone. Where does it go? Nobody knows. I saw a pixel on my screen move, and I just couldn't focus on what I was thinking anymore. It was something about Kwebblekop, I'm sure. It's just